So today I'm going to talk about wolves versus sheep. And it's a story about something that happened in my parking garage. It is brought to you by my parking garage. And spoiler alert, in this story, I am the sheep, okay? And I'm not thrilled about it, but I took a lesson from a wolf, if you will, okay? This is a little makeshift picture of my parking garage, okay? I live in a condo building, and just pretend it looks like a parking garage, okay? Just pretend it looks like a parkade. The circles are pillars, and so you get these. I'll figure this backwards thing out soon. You get these gaps, okay? So two stalls next to each other, then a pillar, and then three stalls next to each other, and just like down here, three stalls next to each other, and then two, and then it kind of repeats, right? Like this 3 2 3 2, whatever. And so when I moved into my building, it was pretty much empty, okay? And they assigned me this stall. Try to use a color that you can see with my pen. Okay, they put me in the middle of three stalls. That's me. And I'm thinking every day when I park in there, I love this place. I'm so happy to be here. I'm not going to complain about my parking. It doesn't matter, right? Plus, I get to park in the middle of nobody because there's barely any cars in here. It's a fairly new building. I get all this nice space, right? At least a month, at least 2 months. Man, it feels like it's going to be 6 months. Who cares? I'm just happy to be here. And what happens in my little three stall section? Within a week, we get somebody assigned right next to me. Here, okay? Apparently, they are going to be represented by a squiggly circle, a green squiggly circle, because I couldn't think of a word to write there, and this was quicker. So now, suddenly, there are like three cars in this area. Me, a couple other cars. Okay, there's more than three, because me plus a couple plus this one. More than three, obviously. But one of them has been assigned to park right next to me. And yeah, first world problems, blah, blah, blah. That's not the point. Okay. The point here is about how I approach this and how I was thinking about this. Because you know what happened? As this shiny new car and my shiny new car parked next to each other for about a week, I could only think like, oh, at least it's shiny. We're both going to respect each other's new vehicle, like nice, like take care of each other. But it was getting tight in there. And then suddenly they were gone. Okay. Green Squiggly is no longer parking here. And I thought, well, maybe like that's weird. Were they just like a guest for just a little while? Now they're gone. Okay, at least I have my space back and I'm loving life. And then when I'm driving out of the parkade, soon I see green squiggly car in this single stall. Okay, all by itself. And I thought, what a perfect parking spot. How did that guy get that parking spot? I didn't know we could change. I didn't know we could request. I didn't think of it. I just thought, well, I'm just going to be grateful and eat my food over here, right? And then my brain was like, no, no, no. But look, even though he has like a little space, which is amazing, right? It's not next to the wall. He has a pillar, but there's a little space. My brain looked over there and noticed, oh, he's next to the stairs. That sucks. That's not the best parking stall down here. Because what if somebody's coming out of the stairs and dings his car or something like that, right? And then I thought about it a little more. How many people use the stairs in a parkade? Number one. Number two, why are you trying to find something wrong with this parking stall? Number three, it's still better, you know? Like for the 1 in 1,000 times that a person even uses the stairs in a parking lot, in an underground parking lot in a condo building, because everybody takes the elevator, the chances of something happening do not outweigh the benefits of having your own parking stall all by itself. And again, I know this seems like first world problems or some shit like that. But listen, we started by saying this is a story about wolves versus sheep, right? Because this guy did not do what I did. As we parked next to each other in these stalls with all these empty stalls around us, this person decided to reach out, or maybe they just took it, who knows, but I'm assuming they reached out and said, "Hey, I would like to park over here, please." And I have no idea what they said. I have no idea what it took. I have no idea if they paid more, whatever it was. But they solved a problem that I am going to have again soon, right? Because soon there's going to be, you know, Eric, who's going to be assigned to park here. And then Steve is going to be assigned to park over here. And I'm going to be parking in between two cars. And, you know, Green Squiggle's over there. He's got space all by himself. And probably just because he asked. Probably just because it's so early on and it's so empty that they were like, yeah, who cares? Just take whatever you want. A little bit more of a wolf mentality. Okay. A little bit more of like a what do I want? How do I go get it? And then go get it. Whereas my mentality was over here. I was the sheep. I was just fucking sitting there like, oh yeah, this is okay. I'm okay with it. I'm not thrilled. I wasn't happy that someone had just shown up one day and decided to, or was assigned to park next to me. I wasn't happy about it. It made me uncomfortable. It's tighter in there. It's not easier. It made my life more difficult. But I just like was like, I'm not going to do anything about it. And now I have to drive past this guy every day and just think, oh, I could have, would have, should have. And there's some weird, by the way, there's something weird in my brain about like, oh, we were the first two. We're gonna be homies one day. We're gonna see each other. We'll be friends because we parked next to each other. Oh no, I can't believe you left me. I didn't want to be the one to leave him. You know, there's some like weird attachment fixation thing when you're emotionally like not, I don't know, independent or completely independent. I would say I am, but like what is that attachment? Like why is there any lingering effect or thought or notion of like we're homies, we're in this together because we park next, like never. I don't know the person at all. I just know what their car looks like and kind of how they park. So take whatever moral you want from this story, but I was like, I need to learn from this mentality more because I was behaving like this. And we know who gets eaten in the wild. We know who eats in the wild. Closed mouth don't get fed, right? I, by the way, clearly remember Jay-Z saying that about Kanye West when he like opened his mouth and got a feature on the Blueprint. I think it was Blueprint 2. But Kanye was an up and coming, and he was just like in the studio because he was a producer, and he was in the studio and he rapped a verse for Jay-Z, and eventually like was actually featured on the song like as a lyricist. And I still remember that Kanye West like documentary, and they filmed Jay-Z kind of leaving the studio, and he said, "Closed mouth don't get fed," and we've all heard that saying before, right? Closed mouth don't get fed. It's the hungry dogs that eat. And not to get into the hunger aspect of it and why you're hungry and all that stuff, but like, are you a wolf or are you a sheep? You know, especially when you find problems and you come across issues and things that bother you and things you don't like or things that irk you. Like, I'm not saying be aggressive and disrespectful, okay? And that's not the type of wolf I'm trying to talk about, but I'm trying to, relay, like in my own brain, why didn't I think to problem solve something? Like, why didn't I take a step? Why didn't I execute? Why didn't I try to do something about something that was causing me a little bit of, I don't know, potentially completely unnecessary discomfort? Because look at all this empty space around us, anyways. So it's just an interesting story. I just thought, share how I was like thinking through that. This episode of mindset story time update things that need to be renamed later about wolves versus sheep has been brought to you by my parking garage. Thank you for watching.